You already know this is Don D, your Nekkid gardener, and we are in June. It is hot out. It is skin season. So we out here in the garden. I'm going to give a little garden tour. Everything, well, just about everything. There's a couple things I still need to do, but everything for the most part is planted. And so I'm going to do a little garden tour, so you can see everything that we have going on. But before, oh, can I catch him? Can I catch him? Every time I try to catch a bird in the bird feeder, or bird bath, I never catch one. And now I got him. Yay. Oh, this is perfect timing. And he flew away. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. But we're going to give a little garden tour. We're going to start with the original beds. So if you were here with me last year, you remember this bed. This is my tomato bed. And I'm playing a little bit with the cages this year. I need to get more. I need to order 2 more sets so I can have a cage around each tomato plant. And of course, they're purple. I mean, hello. So this is my tomato bed. I have tomatoes, and mixed in with the tomatoes, I have some onions and some carrots, some basil, there's sunflower over there somewhere. There's a couple sunflower, some marigolds, just a couple of different things. And then here there's going to be tomatillos. I got purple tomatillos coming up right here, and yellow tomatillos back there. I have some rich sweetness melon here, and a dragon egg cucumber over there. Back over there is a Sambala melon pear that's really struggling, so I don't know if it'll come up, but we'll see. And then in front of that, where's my hand? There it is. I have a gherkin, Mexican sour gherkin. The plants are really small. You can barely even see it, so we'll see what happens there. And then I have my cucumbers. There's 2 there, 1 will come out, and then there's another cucumber right there. And then along the edge I have some nasturtiums to help deter the pests. And then I have a little owl to help scare the bigger pests. And then back in this bed, I have my melons coming up. I have a lemon drop watermelon here, then a cantaloupe, Kahari melon, and a Kazaka melon, and then a sunflower over there, and then some more nasturtiums. There's some flowers that should be coming up. They're taking their sweet time. This was spinach. I mean, it still is, but it needs to come out. It's run its course. It's actually getting ready to flower. So I've never seen spinach flower yet, so I'm letting it happen. And then I have some eggplant here. That's a Black Beauty eggplant and a Chinese string eggplant. Then I have some lettuce and kale, some cabbages. I pulled off the leaves of the Chinese cabbage and letting that flower. Then I have my onions in here. They're growing really nice. I'm really happy with them. I have 2 right there. I don't know how I got 2 right there, but there's 2 right there. And then some carrots and my bush beans. And the bush beans are looking good. Got some flowers on some of the bush beans. I got 4 different varieties of bush beans here. So these are the original beds. This is what I started, the beds that I started with last year. And now let's check out what I've added. Before we get into what I've added, forgot about the potatoes. The potatoes were here last year too. Just not this many. Just not this many. So I'm really excited about the potatoes. They're coming in nicely. These are my early season potatoes. Then my mid seasons are just starting to appear, and late season are going to be late. So we're waiting. And I've planted my sweet potatoes. I'm a little concerned, slightly concerned. I kept them inside too long. They didn't get any natural sun, so the leaves are very light and the sun hit them pretty hard. But they're in soil now. They've been fertilized. The soil has a lot of good nutrients, so we will see what happens with the sweet potatoes. Fingers crossed. Everybody's still upright, so that's a good part. All right, let's go check out what I've added. All right, so you know about the strawberry bed. The original goal was to have strawberries and herbs. I have some dill here. The dill is just going wild, so I'm probably not going to remove the dill. It's too tall to remove. I mean, I can remove it and start over, but that's too tall to remove and transplant, let me put it that way. But I'm going to make this just all strawberries. I didn't realize how many runners the strawberry plants put out, and I already have like 7 or 8 runners, plants, you know, that are inside that I need to plant out here. But they just are just throwing off the runners, which I'm not mad at. But this is just going to be all strawberries. And pardon the sweat. I told you it's summer. But yeah, this is going to be all strawberries and dill, unless I decide to take the dill out. But I do plan, because I'm never done, I do plan on doing a bed just for herbs. I'm going to do like a 3x3 bed that I can do just for herbs, that I don't have to worry about the strawberries taking over. So this was the first thing that I added to the garden, the strawberry bed. All right, then the next thing that I added was the pollinator bed. I still want this to be all flowers, to attract the pollinators and attract the birds and the bees. You know, I'm all about the birds and the bees. But I didn't realize that growing these flowers from seed is so difficult. I have some echinacea that came up. I have some zinnia, and the zinnia take a while, I know that. But everything else is just, it hasn't gone anywhere. So I'm going to actually order plants, buy some plants to put into the beds. I said beds because there's 2 more up here. But I'm gonna buy actual well-established plants. That way I don't have to deal with trying to get the stuff from seed. So this is the first bed in the back of the garden. And then the second 2 pollinator beds are up front here with the strawberries. Again, there's a couple of things coming up. The hollyhock is coming up nice in both beds. Too bad I planted 2 hollyhocks in each bed, but there's only 1 coming up in each bed. But at least something's coming up. Again, I'm going to buy some plants to put in here, pollinator attractors to put in both of these beds, because growing these plants from seed is not the step to make. It's not the route, not for me. All right, what's next? All right, so the next beds that I added 3 up here towards the front of the garden. The first one here is the garlic bed. I started this last year, in October, I think I planted the garlic. So the garlic takes like 9 months. So I planted in October, and they should be ready either later this month or early next month. They look good. I poke around in the soil, and I definitely feel garlic bulbs. So yay, yay growing garlic. And then once I pull these out, I'm going to put some type of melon. I forget which melon, but which reminds me I need to start it so that it's ready when ready to transplant when I pull these out. So I'm going to put melon in here after I pull the garlic out. And then I had set these beds up but didn't plant in them until last night, to be exact. This bed right here has 2 different types of peanuts, one with a red skin and another one with a black skin. I literally just planted the peanut seeds last night, so they probably won't start to appear for another week or so. So that's going to be fun. I'm excited to grow peanuts. And then in here I have ground cherries. There's a little seedling there. And then I have 2 seedlings over there. They're so tiny I'm Just gonna wait and see which one grows the best, and I'll remove the other one. But why so much space, you ask? They spread about 3 feet. So once they grow and mature, they should take up this whole bed. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. What did I add next? I'm trying to think. Oh, I know. Let's go check it out. All right, so these 3 beds were next. First was my asparagus bed. I'm like at a loss for words for this. This is so awesome. I'm excited about the asparagus. I can't harvest anything this year, as you can tell. It's already at fern, but they're tiny little plants, so nothing worth having. But it takes like 2 or 3 years. I did start some from seed, not realizing that I could buy 2-year-old roots, established roots. So the seeds, I gave some to some friends, the seedlings, and then got me some 2-year-old purple asparagus root balls, and got them planted in here. So they're growing nicely. I need to fill up the bed with some more soil, and then hopefully next year I can harvest some asparagus. And supposedly you can grow asparagus for like 20-30 years, so we'll see how that goes. And then the next bed is my pole bean bed, which everybody's growing nicely. I have some purple pole beans right here. This is a Chinese red bean, and then right here is a winged bean. I think it's either Chinese or Japanese, I forget. It's an Asian bean, and the bean looks like little wings. It looks like it has little wings. It's supposed to be good. Same with the red bean. It's supposed to be a really good bean. So we'll see. The red bean, they're like really long, like noodles. And then over here, on the other side of the wing bean, is the red bean that I grew last year that I'm using in my chili. They look like smaller versions of kidney beans. So that's what I'm growing there to get some more beans for the chili. And then over here is a cabbage. This cabbage here with some nasturtiums. Nasturtiums just hanging out. They're growing nicely. But the cabbage is a giant cabbage. It is, when they say giant, I think the average, it weighs on average about 35 pounds. I think the heaviest on record weighed about 44 pounds. So we're letting it hang out here in the sun and grow and see what we end up with. So hopefully in a couple of months I'll have some really huge cabbage, along with the sweat dripping in my eye. But yeah, that's where we're going next, or going with this. What's next as far as the bed? I think this is my last bed. Yes, this was my last bed. It's up front. Let's go check it out. All right, so the last bed to get added to the garden is my pepper bed. This is my hot pepper bed. I have some hot peppers mixed in with some nasturtiums, some calendula. There's dill in here, there's basil in here, there's a marigold in here. So just a nice mix of things going on in here. And so far, so good. If you were with me last year, you know that I did not have good luck with peppers. All of my peppers died. But everything here, I did lose some out of here. Like literally the night after planting them, somebody came through and snipped off either the tops of the pepper plants or ripped the pepper plant up completely out of the soil. So I do have an Asante pepper that's from growing back from seed. There's a Tabasco pepper over there, and then there's I think one more, a habanero that I'm waiting to grow. But yeah, and everything else is looking okay. There's a pepper back there that lost some leaves, but it's still hanging on, so fingers crossed, we'll be good. And then this year I have added lots of bags along this side of the garden. Everything up there, they're all brassicas. It's all my broccoli, my collard greens, my Brussels sprouts, cabbage, cauliflower. And I have them in bags because last year I realized how much room they actually take up. So at least in the bags, if they start to get really big, I can just move them so that they're not covering anything. And then up front in bags over here, I have some sweet peppers. I do still need to plant out some more sweet peppers in bags. And then I have to plant out my okra. Okra is going to go over here in bags. But other than that, that's the garden. That is the garden. And then up front here, I'm going to do some lavender plants in the empty pots up there. And then I've added pineapple sage. I have 2 up here, and then there's 2 back with the pole beans. I didn't realize that pineapple sage was not a perennial in my zone, so I may not have them next year unless I move them inside to keep them under lights over the winter. We'll see. No big deal. If I don't have them, we'll find something else to put in those bags. It would be cool to keep them. I don't know if I'm going to move them inside. I don't know. We'll see. We'll worry about that when the time comes. But that is my garden. It's obviously grown a little bit. And right about in here is where I plan on putting the herb bed, the 3x3 herb bed. But that's my garden this year. So we're just getting started. Everything, well, not just getting started, but everything is in and planted. I have harvested a few things. I have harvested some radishes, harvested some lettuce, harvested some cabbage, and then now we're just waiting. Now we just water and wait. When I harvested some tatsui greens as well. Hi, little bee friend. There's a couple little bee friends in there. Actually, y'all aren't friends. Y'all aren't the ones that I like. I'm gonna have to spray in there to get y'all out of there. I don't want you in there. No ma'am. No ma'am. But yeah. And it looks like my bush beans might be the next to harvest, so I'm pretty excited about that. Maybe they're looking for the what are those bugs called? I forget. There were some bugs on this one lettuce, and I know the bees eat them, so maybe that's what they're looking for. And if that's the case, y'all can stay. I'll let y'all stay. Okay. But thank you for tuning in. I know this was a long video, but wanted to give a complete tour of the whole garden now that everything is planted and stuff is growing and cages are getting built. I have to order more. But look, and I love looking out my window and seeing this pop of purple. I mean, hello, it's me. Of course I'm going to love seeing the pop of purple. But yeah, this is fun. I'm going to get a big tall shade to put over here, just because the tomatoes want shade, and it'll provide shade for other stuff on the other side too there. So everything doesn't get burnt by the sun, because this yard gets a lot of sun. There's like no trees or anything, so this yard gets a lot of sun all day long. That's why I have shade cloth over the peppers, so they can get a little bit of a break and not get sun completely all day long. But that's the garden. Stay tuned, because I will have updates as stuff grows, as stuff is harvested, as stuff just does amazing things. I need to fill up that bird feeder because the babies are missing the food. But yeah, thanks for checking in. I love you. Have an awesome week. Goodbye.